Thank you very Rồi.
Chỗ ní lông không? Chỗ má. Chỗ má. Đấy. Chỗ má. Đâu thì em Ý cái này là một tía, có điểm hop in đó, để trộn với xuống á, lên xuống cả hai á. Lên 10 năm nữa. Lên hop in cả hop in. Cái này nó thấy nó chịu cho xuống đó. Bạn là cho.
Hello, welcome to Boston and City View Trolley Tours. Let's start with some safety and courtesy rules. Please keep all parts of your body in the trolley and stay seated while the trolley is in motion. Keep conversations minimal to not disturb others. Your tickets are valid for 1 week, but you can hop off to visit as many stops as you like. We recommend looking at your brochure map to plan which stops interest you the most.
Boston's population is 670,000, including 150,000 college students and 35 colleges and universities. The city is approximately 70% landfill and was originally a 1.5 square mile peninsula named Shawmut by the early Native Americans. Some of the roads we'll be traveling on were once water. Some other Boston nicknames include Beantown, the Athens of America, and Hub of the Universe.
To the left, you'll see the U.S. Custom House, considered Boston's first skyscraper, and was the tallest building in Boston for 40 years. The base was built in 1847. The tower was added in 1915. Now it's a Marriott timeshare resort.
The road we're crossing, Longwood, dates to the early 1700s. Originally, this wharf was over 1,800 feet long and extended into Boston Harbor, up to 32 Ahead of us, and soon to the left, is the Mercantile Wharf Building, built in 1857, now a retail and apartment building. It was originally the old woolen exchange. Rope, stored in a damp basement, was sold by weight.
To the right is Christopher Columbus Park, where the Rose Kennedy Rose Garden honors the matriarch of the Boston Kennedy clan. She was born in the North End and lived to the age of 104. The caretakers of the garden planted 104 rose bushes here to commemorate her life. stop 2. You can depart to see the Paul Revere House, the Old North Church, or try one of the many Italian restaurants in the neighborhood. Please watch your step.
Stop number 2. Stop number 2.
Okay, all right, that's okay.
Yeah.
To the right, you'll see the wharves. By tonnage, Boston was the third largest shipping port in the British Empire. The coast to the right became known as the Ghost Coast because of its old, abandoned wharves. But after revitalization and new luxury condos in the 70s, it became the Gold Coast. To the left is Hanover Street, the North End's main street. Here, you'll find Italian restaurants, pastry shops, and cafes. You'll also find St. Stephen's Church, the only
On your left, look up Henchman Street, and you will see the steeple of Boston's oldest standing church, built in 1723, the Old North Church. Rising to a height of 191 feet, at the time it was Boston's tallest steeple. On April 18, 1775, the young sexton Robert Newman hung 2 lanterns, one by land, 2 by sea, in the steeple to signal the British troops' departure from Boston to Concord and Lexington. The next day, April 19, 1775, the shot heard round the world began the American Revolution.
Look up to the left, and you'll see Boston's second oldest cemetery, the Copp's Hill Burying Ground, established in 1659. Legend has it that British troops camped here prior to the Battle of Bunker Hill and used the headstones for target practice. If you look closely, you can still see chips in the headstones.
On the right is the location of the Great Molasses Flood. This is where a 2.5 million gallon storage vat of molasses unaccounted numbers of dogs were passed and injured at least up to stop number 3. You can hop off here to visit Copp's Hill Burying Ground in the Old North Church. After you disembark, cross the street and up the hill, follow the red brick line known as the Freedom Trail. Please watch your step.
Stop number 3. Stop number 3.
On the left, this garage was the site of the Brinks Armored Car Company, and in 1950, Specs O'Keefe and 6 men pulled off the largest cash heist in America at that time. The movie, The Brinks Job, starring Peter Falk, was based on this. Thieves stole $1.2 million in cash and $1.5 million in checks, money orders, and other securities. They were caught 6 years later.
brick line on the sidewalk. This is the Freedom Trail, which connects 16 revolutionary historic sites as it winds its way from Pittsburgh Mountains through the It essentially starts at the visitor center in Boston County and ends in Charlestown, the Bunker Hill Monument. First settled in 1630, but the water was poor and they moved to Boston proper. Charlestown is named after the English King Charles I. He is the one the Puritans were fleeing when they came here for their religious freedom in 1630. The names of most places in New England are named after English towns and English nobility. Boston is named after Boston, England, which is 1,000 years older than Boston, Massachusetts. We're coming up to Warren Street, named after the Revolution, and is still open today. The 2010 crime drama movie The Town was shot here and was co-written, directed, and starred by Ben Affleck. 2,000 feet, and during World War II, most were injured. It also produced all the roads used by the U.S. Navy. Here you will also find the USS Cassin Young, a World War II destroyer.
We're pulling up to stop 4, where you can visit the Charlestown Navy Shipyard, USS Constitution and Museum, the USS Cassin Young, and the Bunker Hill Monument. Please watch your step.
To the right, through the gate, you can see the USS Constitution, a wooden-hulled, three-masted heavy frigate. It first defended merchants from the pirates of the Barbary Coast, but gained fame during the War of 1812 against Great Britain, which it captured several merchants in 1825 and 1843. Its granite comes from America's first quarry in Quincy, Massachusetts, and was hauled by the country's first commercial railroad. It stands 221 feet tall and has observation windows at the top. But to get that amazing view from the top, you'll have to climb 294 stairs.
This is also the site of the District in front of us stands on the site of Old Scully Square, Boston's former adult entertainment district. Band dancer Sally Rand and the Marx Brothers once performed in the Old Howard and Casino Theaters here.
Into the Old South Meeting House, King's Chapel, and the King's Chapel Burying Ground. As we turn right, on our left, on the traffic island, you'll see a cobblestone circle on the ground. It marks the spot where the Boston Massacre occurred on March 5th, 1770.
According to legend, the Boston Massacre was triggered when a young boy accused a British sentry of not paying for a haircut. Soon, other people started harassing the soldier, who called for reinforcements as a riot began. Then, a church bell rang, signaling that a fire had broken out somewhere. Someone shouted fire, and, in the confusion, the British soldiers opened fire on the crowd, killing 5 Bostonians, including the first black man to die in the Revolutionary War, Crispus Attucks. Coming up on the left, the red brick building is the Old State House, Boston's oldest public building. It was built in 1713 at the offices of the British governors of the Massachusetts Bay Colony. On July 18, 1776, the Declaration of Independence was read for the very first time in Boston on the balcony. This historic event is reenacted every July 4th. In 1976, during America's bicentennial, the Declaration of Independence was read. steam you see coming from the kettle. Coming up on the left, you'll find King's Chapel Burying Ground, the oldest cemetery in Boston. It dates to 1603, same year Boston was founded by the Puritans. Prominent burials include Charles Bulfinch, the architect, Mary Chilton, the first woman to step off the Mayflower, and the first two governors of the Massachusetts Bay Colony, John Winthrop and John Endicott.
King's Chapel is the second oldest church in Boston. This was the city's first Anglican church, but is now Christian Unitarian.
The church was first a wooden structure built in 1749. The British were worried that the colonists might burn it down when they seized it for their own use. It was designed to have a steeple, which was never built because they ran out of money.
On the left is the Omni Parker House Hotel. It's the oldest continuous running hotel in the United States. This is where Parker House rolls and Boston cream.
After John Hancock, the far left, the rear. Second signature you cannot miss.
Gertrude Payne. Crispin Paddock, the first black man to die in the Boston Massacre, is also buried here.
Sculpture named The Embrace. It's a massive bronze piece 20 feet tall and 40 feet wide by Hank Willie Thomas. It depicts the commemorates the lives and honors the legacies of Martin Luther King Jr. and Coretta Scott King.
The Common Gazebo was Boston's only outdoor public place where, in 1834, you could legally smoke. It's also where John Philip Sousa held his concerts on Saturday afternoons. Extra nickels to get off the train. He didn't ride forever into the streets of Boston, and he's the man who never returned.
The song became so entrenched in Boston lore that the city's subway system named its electronic fare card the Charlie Card.
We are now entering Boston's theater district, where it's common for shows to open before going to Broadway. Many hits played here first, including Fiddler on the Roof, A Little Night Music, Annie Get Your Gun, La Cage at Fall, and A Streetcar Named Desire, starring a young newcomer named Marlon Brando. Streetcar opened
Blocks up to the left is 17 Piedmont Street and was the former On November 28, 1942, more than 1,000 people crowded into the club, more than twice its legal capacity. A fire broke out, killing 492 people, until recently making it the deadliest nightclub tragedy in history.
That terrible night, management locked the exit doors to prevent unauthorized entry. Only the single revolving entrance door was working, but it quickly jammed with people trying to flee the blaze.
The tragedy changed U.S. fire codes. Revolving entrance doors must now be flanked by 2 push-out doors.
Anybody interested in Edgar Allan Poe? Absolutely. There's a nice little statue of him right there. That's his favorite British painting.
This is stop number 7, where you can hop off to explore Newbury Street, the Boston Public Garden, Copley Square, the Cheers Bar, and Boston Common.
Stop number 7. Stop number 7.
It was designed by George F. Meacham. Its 24 acres are part of the city's Emerald Necklace, a string of parks that embraces the old Boston city limits in a 6.5-mile green crescent. You can ride a swan boat through the lagoon here and glide under the world's smallest The Back Bay Landfill project, which spans 570 acres, was made possible by the invention of the steam shuttle and the steam locomotive. It started in 1857 and took 50 years to complete. 24 hours a day, trains of 35 cars made 16 trips to fill in 2 house lots per day. Unlike most of Boston's streets, the Back Bay...
The exteriors for the show were filmed here, but the inside doesn't resemble the raw on the theater.
They were built in the 1820s in the federal style, which means that the windows are taller on the second floor and get shorter as they go up. This neighborhood is home to wealthy families such as the Lowells, the Cabots, the Lodges, and the Appletons. As a federally protected area, much of Beacon Hill hasn't changed. Lots of the houses here remain private family homes, and some are private clubs.
As we continue up Beacon Street, notice the street lights are real gas lights, and some of the wrought iron work, called Boston Black Lace, is made of melted down cannonballs.
Number 45 Beacon Street was Mayor Harrison Gray Otis's home, where the original cobblestone driveway was designed by Charles Bullfinch. 42 to 43 Beacon Street, the large gray building, was the site of portrait artist John Kennington Cobden's home. It is now the Somerset Club. Number 40 is the former home of Jack Welch, the ex-CEO of General Electric Corporation.
You might have noticed that some Beacon Hill homes have purple panes of glass. When these homes were built, the glass was imported from England. It was later found there was manganese oxide mixed into them. When manufactured, an element in the formula and years of sunlight have turned them purple. Now these panes are treasured. On the right is the Robert Gould Shaw 54th Regiment Memorial, created by sculptor Augustus St. Gaudens, which commemorates the Massachusetts 54th Regiment. In 1863, it was the first all-volunteer black regiment from the North to fight in the Civil War. Its command was Colonel Robert Gould Shaw. The memorial was built in 1897.
In Charleston, South Carolina, on July 18, 1863, along with 2 brigades of white troops, the 54th attacked Confederate Battery Wagner. When the unit hesitated in the face of fierce Confederate fire, Colonel Shaw led his men into the fight with the battle cry. It's ironic considering that the Puritans left England because they had been persecuted for their religion.
The land where the Capitol sits was once 60 feet higher. In the 1600s, a beacon made of a bucket of tar was placed on it.
What's strong points?
It's like you see a thumb and stuff. And then they go like
The Emerald engagement ring. Thank Cleef and Arpels. Did you know that part? He didn't use a diamond when he asked there. He used an emerald. The ring was made by a company called Van Cleef and Arpels.
We've entered School Street. On the left is where the first public school in the country was established in 1635. Benjamin Franklin was its most famous pupil, and his statue is on the left side in front of the elegant Old City Hall, now a commercial building with a restaurant and other businesses.
On the right, you will see the Irish Potato Famine Memorial, in honor of the Irish who suffered starvation from 1845 to 1849. It was unveiled on June 28, 1998, marking the 150th anniversary of the famine.
Up ahead to the right, across the brick sidewalk and plaza, is the old brick church Old South Meeting House. It was once a wooden structure built in 1669 where the Puritans met. The congregation quickly outgrew the building, so they constructed a new brick meeting house in 1729, which you see today.
Building where St. Adams was run. The idea that
Other of the two most preeminent founding fathers. The streets that cross Washington Street changed their names in honor of the first president. George Washington spent almost a year in Boston during the Revolution.
We're now traveling through Boston's financial district, the third most powerful financial district in the nation after New York and Chicago. The mutual fund was created here and promoted by Fidelity Corporation, which is headquartered here. Before the 80s, few had heard of it, but today, the mutual fund is one of the most popular investing instruments. 1872. It was the city's largest urban fire and still one of the costliest fire-related property losses in U.S. history. The park was completed in 2008, where previously there had been a highway. Is the elegant South Station, completed in 1900. On the right is South Station train station, which opened in 1899. It is constructed of Connecticut granite. You can catch a train here to go south or west, either on Amtrak or by commuter rail. It's the oldest train station in New England and was at one time the busiest in the country.
You're approaching Stop 9, where you can hop off to explore the Boston Children's Museum, Tea Party Shipping Museum, and Chinatown. Please watch your step. In 1978, they considered tearing it down, but former First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy intervened and had it put on the registry. On the right, if you head down Seaport Avenue and Northern Avenue.
1773, Sam Adams and thousands of Boston residents met at the Old South Meeting House to discuss what to do about these ships in the harbor loaded with British tea from the East India Tea Company.
King George III was taxing this tea to replenish his funds after war with France and to subsidize the failing East India Tea Company, a private company. The tax meant higher prices for the economy. The tall gray building on our left is the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston. Some people call it the washboard building because the tower reminds them of a washboard. Boston opened the country's first Federal Reserve Bank, so the serial numbers on paper money distributed here start with the letter A. You may already have a souvenir of this bank on it.
The 30th day.
To modernize it, planners decided to put Interstate 93 underground where it is now. This project, called the Big Dig, was supposed to take 12 years and cost $3.5 billion. It ended up costing $16.5 billion and took over 13 years to complete, making it the most expensive public works project in America.
This project created 1.5 miles of parkland, now called the Rose Kennedy Greenway.
On the right, if you head down Seaport Avenue and Northern Avenue, is the Seaport District. where you'll find
If you look through the archway at Rose Wharf, you can see Logan Airport across the harbor. Logan is the 12th busiest airport in the United States.
chặt cái mũi đấy. Trộn nó từ cái sạc
Thank you very much.
Marine radio aboard, which allows us to communicate directly with the United States Coast
Solid.
It's 45
Thank
Bye.